I received an email from somebody in my chat called Goalkeeper G. You can find his YouTube channel if you go to youtube.com/goalkeeperg, just goalkeeper with the letter G on the end. He sent me an email and attached a survey he'd written. 25 questions, decent questions, quite good. So I thought I'd make a video answering them, so everyone, to share the answers with everyone, and also the questions. So I'm going to start straight away. I can take as long as I want on these now, because if you haven't already noticed, I'm a YouTube partner, which is great, and I thank everyone who's watched my videos in the past for all your support, and I would have never become one without all of you. So anyway, back to the survey. Number 1, how big is your monitor? I use a 19-inch Philips monitor. I don't know what the exact model is, so 19-inch. Number 2, what's connected to your Mac at the moment? Quite a lot, actually. Obviously, this Canon MD205 video camera, Logitech Z4i speakers, the Philips monitor, if you class wireless things as connected, my Mighty Mouse and keyboard. Got an external hard drive down there, USB hub. I would have 2 external hard drives, but the other one failed a few weeks ago, so I need to try and save up some money to buy a new one. Oh, what else is connected? I've got an iToy there, which I use for the live stream when I'm not here. I think that's actually about it. What else is plugged in? Usually my iPod Touch would be connected when I'm not using it. My fingerprint scanner is connected. This microphone's connected, and that's everything, I think. Yeah. So, number 3, do you own a Windows computer? I don't actually. I'll go through all the computers we have. Obviously, I have a Mac Mini. There's an old computer just here running Windows 98, which is mine. I got it off. I didn't buy it, I got it off someone else. And I don't use it either, so that one doesn't really count. And we do have another 2 PCs running Windows XP, but they're not actually mine. So that's kind of answer number 3. So no, I don't actually. I technically own one if you class this as a Windows computer. But if you don't, because I don't use it and it's really old, then no, I don't actually own one, but there are 2 in the house. Number 4, what is your most loved item? Probably my Mac Mini right now. Number 5, what mouse do you use? Well, going back to number 4, my Mac Mini, because it's just a great computer. I highly recommend it to anyone who wants a Mac but has never used one before, or is never had a Mac before, not sure if you like it. And if you've already got a mouse, keyboard and monitor. But I got mine and then went and bought an Apple mouse and keyboard, which answers the next 2 questions. Number 5, what mouse do you use? Apple Wireless Mighty Mouse. Great mouse. Problem I do have with it though is it uses batteries up quickly. Uses quite a lot of power. You have to turn it off with a switch when you're not using it. Right clicking is awkward because you have to lift your left finger off, and the scroll ball can get full of muck and it's hard to get out because you can't open it. Apart from them, few problems. It's a good mouse. Number 6, what keyboard do you use? It's the Apple wireless keyboard, the one without the numeric keypad. I don't know. I know they updated them. I'm not sure if that's an option now. But yeah, I can't really pick any faults with this keyboard. It's a fantastic thing. If you've got a Mac, I definitely recommend you get an Apple keyboard. Look great, really easy to type on. It makes you actually enjoy typing. You want to type something on this keyboard. It just feels so natural. Good keyboard. Moving on, number 7. What's currently on your desk? You can find a photo of everything on my desk on my website on the page called Best Buys. The photo's also on my Flickr account. You can find that at flickr.com/photos/JackieJK-E. But I'll go through everything on my desk. If I quickly go along the shelf along the top, I've got a projector on there. Um, you've probably seen it if you've been to my website and seen the live stream when I've had that camera on. You can see it there. On my desk, got my Mac Mini, monitor, Logitech Z4i speakers, mouse, keyboard, fingerprint scanner. The camera isn't actually on my desk, it's on a tripod next to my desk. Down the side, there's shelves here, by the way. External hard drive, a broken external hard drive, a USB hub, some flash drives, that kind of thing, and router. Number 8, what chair do you use? I have a cheap bright blue chair from Argos, I think. I got it 5 years ago or so. I did get a newer one earlier for Christmas, but it snapped, so I got a replacement, and the back of that snapped as well, so I took it back. I'm still looking for a chair under £50. If anyone has any recommendations, I'd love to know about them, because I need a good chair to sit on, because this one is awful. Next question, what's your desktop wallpaper? Right now it's just the default OS X Leopard wallpaper, the space thing. I don't know what they call it. What item do you most want that is made by Apple? If I could have any item that's made by Apple, it would be a Mac Pro. But item that I want that sort of in a reasonable price range, either a MacBook or an iMac. Would you trade your Mac Mini for an iPhone? No, I wouldn't. I've got an iPod Touch, and I couldn't live without a Mac computer sitting on my desk. And an iPhone, I just couldn't get rid of my Mac for an iPhone. I wouldn't use it I wouldn't want enough to trade in my Mac for it. Number 12, what video editing program do you use? I actually use Pinnacle Studio, which is a Windows program, video editing. It is really good software, but it's very unstable. I use version 10, it costs about £90. Got the ultimate version, or whatever they call it. I use that for video editing, but I would like to have Final Cut Express, because I've never used it, but I can guarantee it'll be more stable than Pinnacle Studio, because that crashes every 5 minutes. But when it does work though, it is really good video editing software. You have a lot of control over your video clips, a lot of power. And so I use Pinnacle Studio version 10. Number 13, do you use iLife 09 or 08? I use 08 because that's what came with my Mac. I haven't upgraded to 09 yet. Too expensive for the extra features you get, and to be honest, I probably wouldn't use them too much. I'd like to have iMovie 09. I do use that actually sometimes for video editing, especially just quick videos like these kind of ones I upload to YouTube. I rarely edit those though, just the odd time I do need to edit them. For that I would use iLife, or I would use iMovie 08, and that's the only thing I would like to have out of 09. But going back to the previous question, I use Pinnacle Studio for like editing holiday videos, things like that. Oh, what am I up to? Number 14. What is your dream when you are older? Well, ideally, I would like to create videos for a living, but no, seriously, I would want to work for, I would love to work for Google. They're apparently a really good company to work for, so that would be my ultimate dream. Number 15, what program do you use to create your website, including domain and host? Right, I bought my domain name from GoDaddy. It's just the cheapest .com domain you can get. It was about £7 when I bought it. My website isn't, although you get free hosting with a domain name from GoDaddy, my website is hosted by AAA Abbey Hosting. And you can find their website, just go to hosting.jackie.com, then you go through my affiliate link. So I'd appreciate it if you did it that way. What program did I use to create it? Well, my website's powered by WordPress from wordpress.org, not .com, which is a blogging platform. I wrote the theme for it myself. I didn't just use someone else's theme. I actually wrote a custom theme for Jackie.com. And I wrote, believe this or not, I wrote it in Notepad and text edit on OS X. I started it on Windows, finished it on my Mac. And then now I edit the theme using WordPress itself. I didn't use what you see is what you get or website creation program. I wrote the HTML, the CSS, small bits of PHP, and tiny bit of JavaScript myself, but it's mainly CSS. All I did was took the default theme from WordPress and changed it, basically. Just added more code on top of it, got rid of the bits I didn't want, and after 3 months of editing the default theme, I ended up with mine, which I'm quite pleased with, and well, I'm actually proud of the theme. Glad I made it rather than just using someone else's, and I actually like it. Just my opinion, you can disagree if you want, but I think it's a good theme. Currently, a few people have asked this too, if they can use the theme. I'm currently not letting people download it and use it on their own website. Number one, I would like my website to be unique and different. I don't like the idea of other websites looking the same. Number two, the main reason is the code is a mess, and I would have to rewrite it for other people to use, because I've got things like the navigation, the image, all the things like Twitter plugins, all coded into the theme. My avatar, different pictures, different graphics, it's all in the theme. I would have to rewrite it and make it a lot more usable for other people, and make the editing of the theme and adding your own content a lot more user friendly. So right now I'm not letting other people use it. But going back to the original question, I didn't use, well, I suppose I used TextEdit, which is Mac OS X's equivalent to Notepad. That's the program I used to make it. Powered by WordPress, bought the domain name from GoDaddy, hosting from Triple Abbey Hosting. Number 16, where did you buy your desk? I think this was from Argos. It's a really cheap desk. Not very good at all. I got it for Christmas quite a while ago. A good few years ago. I'm not sure on that though. I'm not 100% sure where this was from. Number 17, do you play games on your Mac? Never. There's not a great selection of games for OS X, and even on Windows I've never played games a great deal. I'm just not a gamer. I like creating games with programs like Game Maker. I like programming the games. I'm not a fan of playing games though. That's just me. I've played quite a few games on my PlayStation 2, but that's the most up-to-date games console I've got, which shows how much of a game fan I am. Oh, number 18. If Vista was the last operating system, would you use it? I'd rather not, but if it was the only choice, and I didn't have any alternative, I probably would. Because if it was that or not use a computer at all, then I would use Vista. It would have to be Vista Ultimate though, and to get all the features and try and get the best experience. But I don't like Vista. Hopefully Microsoft's next operating system, Windows 7, will be a big improvement. I'll be quite interested to see what that's like when they release it. Number 19, is there a game console you want? If I had enough money to buy it, I would love to get a PlayStation 3. If I would like an Xbox 360 too. But I don't play games enough to actually want to pay all that money for one. I know Xbox 360 start at £120. The stuff I'd rather spend £120 on. But it would be nice to have one. If I got offered one for free, I would definitely take it and keep it. I would love to have a PlayStation 3. That would be the ultimate gaming console for me. I should have got a drink for this video. I'm up to about 15 minutes now. Number 20. Do you want Apple TV? I would like to have Apple TV again if it was free, but I would never pay for Apple TV. I think it's a bit, it's very expensive and a bit pointless. Because it doesn't really let you do that much that I couldn't already achieve in some way, and it's far too expensive for what it is. But it would be nice to have though, if I say I won it in a competition, or I don't know, if some way I could get it for free, I would love to have an Apple TV, but I would never pay the price they charge for one. 21. Do you plan on becoming an app developer? Yes, if I can. The last few days I've been watching the getting started videos for the iPhone SDK from Apple. It's a very confusing process, developing apps for the iPhone and iPod Touch. I assume that's what he means by app. But I have downloaded and installed the whole SDK onto OS X. But it is really hard. But I'm gonna do my best to try and learn whatever languages are involved, or learn how to use all the programs. I keep losing where I'm up to. 22. How much memory is connected to your Mac if you add it all up? By memory I think you mean hard disk space. So if 80 gigabytes in my Mac, 500 gigabytes on that hard drive down there, so 580. The other hard drive was 120 gigabytes, but that's broken. I'm going to get a replacement, and I'm going to get a terabyte, which is a lot more than what I've had previously. So that would currently 580 gigabytes. Within the next month or two, to replace that one, a terabyte, 1,580 gigabytes, 1.58 terabytes, and I'll use that for backups from Time Machine, and I'll be able to keep a lot of backups on that, because just before that one failed, or whatever's happened to it, I just can't get that working. If you have any recommendations, I'd like to know. I'm not really bothered about if I can't get it working properly again. I'm not bothered at all about the stuff on it, because it's just backups. No copies of documents I really need, because I've got other copies elsewhere and other copies on that hard drive. But if you've got any tips on how to get it working again, I'd like to know. It just won't mount in OS X or Windows. I've tried on a few different computers. It shows up in the disk utility, but I just can't do anything with it. Number 23. Why did you switch from Windows to OS X? I switched to OS X because it looks like a really great operating system. Some really nice programs for it. It looks really good. It's fast. It works really well. And another big reason is the actual Mac itself. It gotta be. You can't get a computer that looks better than a Mac. I wanted a computer anyway, a new one, so I thought I'd try a different one. I'd been using Windows for years and years and years, so it's time for a change, and I'm really glad I switched to OS X. Right now I wouldn't want to go back to Windows for any reason. OS X is a really nice operating system. Comes with some great programs, and the thing with OS X is it's really easy to write a program for Windows, so you end up with thousands of people writing programs. Some are really good, a lot are really bad, and then on Windows you get a lot of viruses, you get a lot of spyware, and every other program you come across is antivirus or firewall software. On OS X, it's just my opinion, but I think it's a lot harder to write a program. OS X is a lot less popular than Windows, so you get better programs as a result of that, because only people who are dedicated to programming and writing applications create OS X programs, and because it's less popular, people who like to create viruses, I really don't understand why, but the people who do don't focus on OS 10, they focus on Windows because that's what most people use. That's that is the truth about Windows. That's the main reason why Windows has more viruses and programs you don't necessarily want on your computer. Number 24. What format do you upload your YouTube videos in? Mainly the Flash format .flv, I think it is. I download them directly from Ustream and upload them straight to YouTube. I don't edit them at all. I record them live, upload them like that. The ones I do edit, the format varies. Sometimes it would be AVI, sometimes it would be MOV, the QuickTime format. It really depends on what program I use to edit it, how I encoded it, exported it. So that varies. Most of the time it's just the Flash format though, straight from Ustream. And number 25, the last question, do you use iWork or Microsoft Office? I don't use either actually. I don't have iWork, but I do have Microsoft Office on the other two computers we've got, which run in Windows XP, so I use Microsoft Office sometimes. I use on OS 10 I use OpenOffice. You can find more about that downloaded at openoffice.org. OpenOffice is free, open source. Office Suite offers a similar range of programs as what Microsoft Office comes with, so that's what I use on OS 10. I would like iWork, but again, I just don't have the money for that kind of thing. And for the amount of times I use it, OpenOffice is enough. And when I need to, I would use Microsoft Office. But Microsoft Office, although I go on about how bad Windows Vista is and certain other Microsoft products, I do like Office. I use, what is it? I don't have the latest version of Microsoft Office. The last version, 2003, I think. I'm not sure though. So that's all the questions. I have to thank Goalkeeper G for that survey, or tech survey, or the list of questions he sent me. If you want to send me something like that, I don't know if it's different questions and something a bit just not the same as that, I'd possibly do it. Just don't send me 25 questions with 20 of them being what I've just answered. But if you want to send me something like that, something similar to that, my email address is info@jackie.com. Also find this live stream. I'm doing this video live right now. I'm going back to the video editing when I was talking about that, saying I don't edit the videos, I record them live. I record them live through Ustream, and I have the Ustream player in the chat embedded on my website. So you can come along, join our community. I stream 24/7, or try to. Always someone in the chat, so always talking about tech related things. You can find all that, my blog and more at jackie.com. Thanks for watching.